Did you hear it? Did you hear the voice asking all the questions, judging, fearing, assuming the worst maybe? Mine was especially loud 5 years ago. We have around 60,000 thoughts a day. 95% of them are on repeat. We are habitual creatures run by our subconscious mind, and our subconscious mind likes to think and react in patterns that we ourselves once laid. But here's the sobering fact. 80% of our thoughts can be negative, especially in an untrained, untamed mind. 5 years ago, I not only lost control over my thoughts, but also my body and my breath. Back then, I was a student, a good student, and I was in my final year of architecture school. And as a good student, I had developed this relentless internal critic to push me to exceed all expectations. Plus, I had some dreams, tasted some success, and was craving some lot more. And this is what we do to ourselves daily, torment ourselves. First, we strive to fit in, then outshine others, do better, know better, all the while chasing something bigger and better. For me, this meant to create the best possible project in one of the harshest, most difficult years of my life. 2 weeks before the submission, I printed out one of my final drafts called Two Friends for Constructive Criticism, as if my internal voice wasn't loud enough. And as they stood next to me, overlooking my drawings, cheering me and praising me for my efforts, inside I felt this burning fire of panic rising. I found myself retreating. My knees felt weak. I leaned over, staring at the cobblestone of my university courtyard. My chest felt tight. My heart was beating way too fast. And as I grasped for air, everything around me just went silent for a tiny little moment. How did I end up here? Were my thoughts. That incident planted a seed in my mind, a tiny yet persistent thought. How did this happen? Why did this happen? I don't want this happening ever again. I decided to take a sabbatical before ever starting off my career. And so as I was waiting at the Zurich airport, strolling through a bookstore, I grabbed a book simply by its cover. Yes, still judging. I later found out it was all about meditation. And having ample time on my hands, I gave it a shot. And to be honest, at first, it was boring. It seemed very unnecessary, but it was this tiny bottle of room spray, nice to have, but not really essential. But it did offer me a momentary disruption to my thought pattern. I felt better, different, stronger even. And with practice, the not so essential room spray gained in potency. Meditation became my go-to when things did go wrong, when patterns needed to be disrupted. When the flares of anger and frustration flared, I tried to sit still, drop the torment, cool the flames, and surrender, and reevaluate the present moment. Meditation became a fire extinguisher to me. Meditation helped me regulate my emotions and, more importantly, avoid having another panic attack. But my practice was still more off than on, and as helpful as this was, it wasn't the full potential of meditation, because while it can extinguish fires, it can teach you something even more profound. You see, it took me a while to understand that the fire, the panic, the stress, the pressure wasn't caused by the outside world. It was caused by me. The expectation we place on ourselves, the pursuit of external validation, it all came from within. I wasn't giving myself or others the love, compassion, or acceptance I so desperately craved. I was the one creating the fire. And that realization changed everything. I began to see that the external world is a mirror of my internal state. If my inner world is full of tension, doubt, and negativity, the external world reflects it back to me. And so my meditation practice became more consistent. It was no longer about extinguishing fires. It became about rewiring my mind, reshaping the patterns that had caused the fire in the first place. Meditation taught me how to fireproof my mind. It's not about toughening up. It's about letting go, releasing those patterns of judgment, fear, and doubt, and replacing them with compassion, clarity, and calm. Today, I rarely feel the flames of panic anymore. The materials within me have changed. Meditation is no longer just a fire extinguisher to me. It's the blueprint of creating a safer, kinder inner world. And as that inner world has changed, so has my outer world. It has become more calmer and more supportive. To anyone here who feels the fire of fear, doubt, or overwhelm, I want you to know this. You have the power to extinguish them. And more importantly, you have the power to rebuild, to create a mind where flames don't rage anymore. It begins with one breath, one moment of stillness, and one choice to observe rather than react.